We're in Stockholm and we're going to take you back to the 70s. The ABBA Museum is over there behind the Tivoli Fun Fair. Just walked up from the ferry. The Tivoli amusements are on my right and ABBA Museum is on my left. ABBA the Museum is an interactive exhibition about the pop group ABBA that opened in Stockholm in May 2013. It was inspired by the Beatles Museum in Liverpool. I was really keen to see it. I love ABBA. These are the costumes that various artists wore in Eurovision Song Contests, not just ABBA but many successful contestants. There are photos of all the members of ABBA from childhood, growing up, and you can listen to their personal stories if you purchase a handset and just touch it on the stars that are next to the various exhibits. They speak of very personal memories. It's obvious that from a young age they were all interested in music. There are photos of them as children and also some of their parents. It's just like looking at someone's personal family photo albums. There was a firm friendship between Benny and Björk, and they describe how they met and fell in love with their other halves. The museum is a very nostalgic trip down memory lane. So Frida is talking to me at the moment. Björn began his musical career at 18 when he fronted the Hootenanny Singers, a popular Swedish folk skiffle group. Benny was a member of the Het Stars, also known as the Swedish Beatles. The Hootenanny Singers and Het Stars sometimes crossed paths, and Björn and Benny decided to write together. Agnetha sang with a local dance band. She came to Stockholm to record 2 of her own songs. This led to her having a #1 in Sweden. During filming of a Swedish TV special in 1969, she met and fell in love with Björn, and they married in July 1971. Frida was born in Norway and sang from the age of 13 with various dance bands. In 1967, she won a national talent competition. She met Benny while performing at the Melody Festival, and again a few weeks later on tour. They became a couple. If this phone rings, it's ABBA calling. ABBA's manager, Sticken Andersson, had a major effect on their career. Sticken Andersson's office, he was a great mentor to the band. This is the sound recording desk and the instruments on which so many ABBA hits were written and recorded. It's amazing to think that hits like Fernando and Dancing Queen, my personal favourite, all began here. There are guitars, pianos, drums, percussion, which when mixed with their fantastic voices became a recipe for major success. They were everywhere. There is so much memorabilia, costumes in the making, shelves of material, and the sewing machines which were used to make their iconic outfits. There is even a mock-up of Agnetha and Frida's dressing room. There's a stage here and you can pretend to be the band, you can stand on stage and record. There are recording booths where you can go in and sing. At each point, there's a description of how they felt and what it was like to be there at that time. There's a mock-up of their kitchens, very tidy, puppets grinning inanely, a bit scary. Fifth member. This museum is such fun. It really does take you back in time. The costumes were completely outrageous. The platform boots, the glitter, the headbands, the mini skirts, the feathers, the trouser suits.
Wow, amazing. Look at all these gold discs.
There are so many awards. It's so sad that their marriages both broke up, and they even speak about how that happened in surprisingly frank and personal revelations. ABBA has never officially announced the end of the group, but it has long been considered dissolved. Their final public appearance together was on the Late Late Breakfast Show, live from Stockholm, on the 11th of December in 1982. Bjorn and Benny went on to write the musical Chess and still collaborate and are firm friends. Agnetha and Frida both pursued solo careers. Agnetha became something of a recluse for a while, but she released a solo album in May 2013. She said she took singing lessons prior to the recording because she felt that her voice was a bit rusty. I would really recommend a trip here.
There's also an area which is a Music Hall of Fame. It's a really interesting museum.
I always wanted to be Agnetha.
In my dreams.